Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Namaste to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is 19 hours 20 in Guyana and right across the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. And you're listening to us here on the Lall Show. We come your way every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This evening, Mr. Lall will make his presentation. And you know the drill. We'll come back and, of course, we'll take your questions and, answer your calls once time permits us. So, Mr. Lall, all dressed in a t-shirt that means business. I will allow you to explain it, but over to you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste. You said every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday, Josh, but you forgot to tell them it's 7:20 p.m. You forgot to tell them they have to call their neighbors, their friends, and their relatives to join us. Guys, please don't forget, and every Sunday we rebroadcast all three of the programs at 11, 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. So please get everyone on board to listen, to understand where you are and where we are heading with this oil. Wealth we were blessed with. Namaste to all of you once again. Time and tide waits for no man. Time stops for no man. Your excuses will not slow down time, uncle. Your holding off on a decision will not delay time too. Your complaining will not stall time, and your regrets will not turn back the time. So don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, and hate, because time will not turn back and cry along with you. It's time to let go of the past and stop worrying about the future. Your only time is now, so make sure you spend time with the right purpose, with the right deeds, with the right emotions, with the right thoughts, and with the right people. Time flies. That's a fact. But you can always spread your wings and soar with time and navigate life the best that you can. Remember, you will never pass this way again. Make it count. Do what has to be done now with the time you have and keep moving. An ex-president named Theodore Roosevelt of the United States said those words differently. He said, and I quote him, "We pass this way but once. Therefore, any good we can do, any kindness we can show to any human being, do it now. Do not differ nor neglect, for we shall not pass this way again." Life, uncle, life, auntie, is a one-way street. Do what you have to do every day with love and kindness in your heart, and do it for others. You don't know when your eyes will be closed. You don't know when you will be gone. Gone forever, I mean. Yesterday, I attended another funeral on the Essequibo coast. A friend's mom passed away. Let me extend sincere condolences to the entire family, friends, and loved ones. Uncle, as I was leaving the funeral, dressed with a jersey that says, "Demand 50% royalty," I had a quick 3 minutes chat with a group of men When one of them say, hello, Glenn, the conversation went like this. I need you guys to stand up and fight for your fair share of your wealth. Then I asked them if they would stand by and see people fetching out the things from them homes and don't say anything. They did answer, no. But the way they came over it, the way it came out their mouth, it dawned upon me that they did not understand clearly what I said to them. Then I repeated myself and asked them again, would you allow strangers to come in your house and fetch out your things while you standing there doing nothing? Some of them said, no, that can't happen. They will fight, and one of them laughed. I told the one that was laughing, this is not a laughing matter, my friend. What ExxonMobil is doing to you and all of us is worse than strangers fetching out the things from your home. ExxonMobil is fetching away your mansion, uncle. Fetching away your children's mansion, uncle. And their future. That's what ExxonMobil is doing. But every Guyanese mansion you live in now, that you call your mansion, uncle, is not that ExxonMobil is fetching away. ExxonMobil is fetching away the real mansion you should be having. One like what those rich people living in. And unless you guys understand that and start standing up and speaking out, then you will never be able to live in that mansion. And all what Exxon is doing, I said to them, they're doing it with the blessings of our leaders, all of them, because they're all silent. Then I said to them, uncle, I hope you guys understand clearly those few words and that little story I share with them, and I walked away. I hope you, all of you who are listening, can give what I just said there a deep thought. It's a huge fight ahead. And Lall alone can't do it. I need your voices and your feet. I will be needing them very soon for us to stand up in the streets and demand that same words on the jersey I wear yesterday. It says 50% royalty is a must. That's the only thing that will give each one of us the opportunity to own a mansion like what the Exxon people them living in, and what some of our leaders here living in, and a great life. The headmaster that became the minister of the oil sector overnight said yesterday that Guyana could earn $4 billion American dollars annually by 2026. That's his view. You hear that, uncle? Could earn $4 billion by 2026 and year on. His view. And hear how he and the Vice President Jack Deodem arrive at this. It's not he, It's not them. That is a line the Vice President has been peddling from since he got in office, and he just putting a spin to tell us that you gonna get $4 billion every year by 2026. Guys, you gotta notice what they're focusing on. You notice carefully their words. Could get $4 billion by 2026. That's what they're focusing. Could. You notice they're focusing what you could get. Yes, man, what you could get. But nothing on what the oil people them going away with. But that's another story. I will deal with that separately later on in this program. Your 2%, uncle, is your 2%. Your 50-50 profit sharing is your 50-50 profit sharing. And let we do this thing simple. Like we did third standard or fourth standard in school, in a primary school. If you bring up 100 barrels from Lisa 1, is not the same 2% you're getting? You bring up 100 barrels in Lisa 2, is not the same 2% you're getting? You bring up 100 barrels in the third project, is not the same 2% you're getting, uncle? Now, if you're going to bring up from the fourth project, and instead of bringing up 100 barrels, you bring up 200 barrels according to them. It's not the same 2% you're getting, auntie? Yeah, man. Every 100 you bring up, every well they bring up is the same 2% you're getting. Even if you move the wells to 10, is same 2% you're getting. If you pick from 2 mango trees, you're gonna get 2%. Not true, man. If you pick from 5 mango tree, it's the same 2% you're gonna get. So what is the big shout about? You get con on the first and the second mango tree by the coalition, uncle. And then you get con with the vice president on the third mango tree. When the contract can change to give you 50%. When the contract could have changed to give you your taxes, to give you your right to have a say in every cent they spend, to monitor every barrel that come up, to change all those clauses that say we got to notify them 1 month before we go check their books. All those things could have changed, uncle. Flaring could have changed. The dumping of the produced water could have changed. The fishing industry and so many other things could have been reversed by Vice President Jagdeo and the headmaster before they give permission for that third project, Payara. Both of them and all Guyana knew that the field development plan, the project cost for Lisa 1, Lisa 2 was over $9 billion US, which was not even checked, was not even verified. The coalition said, is all right, and hand them the 2 projects. We accept and grant them the permission like a set of morons without even securing the basic insurance. Another guy at the cremation ground asked me, Glenn Lall, is who really signed them deals this. My answer to him was, buddy, let us stop this damn nonsense about who signed this bad deal, and let's don't talk. Let's don't look at who did this and who did that. Let us not look at party. Drop it. Whether who signed a bad deal or didn't sign a bad deal, a one-sided contract was signed and it can be changed. Let us focus on the people who can bring about that change. That's what I told him. I said both parties sign a mess-up contract and both parties can bring about a change now. They have the leverage to do so. The ball plus the bat is in their hands. ExxonMobil may have the ground, but we hold the bat and we have the ball in our hand. He shook his head and said, I hear you, Glenn. Yes. My friend, Trotman signed the 2% and the 50-50 contract. But the vice president who running the sector did even worse. When he didn't use the bat and ball in his hand to bring about a complete change, a complete turnaround with the third project. Like I said, Guyana would have been smiling had the vice president squeezed the Payara ball he had in his hand before he granted the permit. That left us worse off, uncle, than Lisa 1 and Lisa 2. Jagdeo Lisa 3 alone is 9 billion US. At least the coalition didn't check or verify them 9 billion for Lisa 1 and 2. But Jagdeo, he bring a Canadian woman what benefited from ExxonMobil for check, for verify and authorize Lisa 3, $9 billion. Y'all remember, I talked this thing over and over. To check and verify such a mega project, uncle, it takes no less than 2 years with a team of oil experts to do it. This Canadian woman alone do it in 6 weeks. And our vice president signed it the next day. Yes. The financial guru signed it the next day. This smart man, Vice President Jagdeo, give the people the permit. Like, bang, take it. It's yours. Everything is yours. Tell me, Guyana. Tell me, Guyana. How can we benefit? This is the song ExxonMobil give the vice president to sing. Tell them the more wells we bring out, the more money are we going to get. The more oil we pump, the more money we going to get. I told the vice president one day when he tell me the same crap. I said, wait, it's more couscous we can get. Glenn, no. I shook my head in disbelief when he said that to me. I was like, this man is in his right mind? His head is working properly? Yes. The vice president and the headmaster. You know what? Some of you must be doing a maths there and think they're correct. That more oil pump, more money we can get. And that is right. It is right. Whoever wants to peddle that, you guys are all correct. The more wells you add on, is the more 2% you can get. I got no qualms about that. That's a beautiful way to do maths in business with your mango trees. You get 2 mangoes from the first tree, 2 mangoes from the second tree, 2 mangoes from the third tree, and that is what you call growing. That is what your leaders say you're going to grow with. And that is what they're happy with. They're happy with that kind of arrangement. They are not telling the nation that ExxonMobil is going away with 98 mangoes on every tree, in which that can be changed, and they're not doing anything to correct it. They're telling you the 2 mango, grow the 2 mango, pick more mango from every tree, and Guyana gonna grow with that. Now they're going to allow the 4th mango tree. They want to give permission for the 4th project, the yellowtail. And this one, they said they're going to pick double. Instead of 100, they're going to be picking 200 mango. So you're going to get a double 2%. Yes, you're going to get double 2%. The same 2%. Guys, why would you want to give the man access to another mango tree with the same 2% when the family can get 50% royalty instead of 2%? If you can see me on the Facebook or the YouTube or through your radio station, Uncle, I got on a jersey that says renegotiate 50% royalty or nothing. Wait, man. You guys gotta go to school to understand. You have to get a change. A blind, a deaf, or a dummy wouldn't give away another mango tree without getting a proper share. And I don't mean that in a bad way for the dummies. So please don't take me wrong. But this is how the vice president and the opposition leader and the one that named Ramjatan and the headmaster see increase in revenue for Guyana. And that is how they're happy. That's what they're happy about. Guyana Oil Fine has put the country as one of the richest nations on earth per capita, meaning per person. All the international leaders, Uncle, and business conglomerates has been reporting that. The oil fine I'm talking about, you know, Uncle, that is what I'm talking about. Not how much we get in. The reporters is not reporting on the contract. They're just talking about how much oil we find. And how Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world in terms of GDP. Yes, how much have I produced? You're pumping oil. You're picking mangoes. But whose pockets the money going into? That is what they're not telling you people. The international people not telling you that. Them telling you you're picking a lot of mango and tell you that your yard is bringing out a lot of mango. But they're not telling the people how much the family getting from the mango. They're not telling you that. That is what is being hidden from the world when they report on Guyana's oil. Watching the world news yesterday, Haiti is now rated #1 in the world per capita. Not for money, but for kidnapping. All the news have it. This morning, CNN say they done kidnap over 800 people for this year, all for ransom. This month alone, uncle, this month I'm talking about, October, over 100 done kidnapped. They kidnapped 17 foreigners about a week ago. 16 Americans and 1 Canadian, demanding 17 million US dollars. That's $1 million per head. The FBI fly in since last week trying to secure their safety. I did say a little prayer for their safety, for the kidnapped people. Yes, I did. And honestly, I felt sorry for them. But these types of criminal activities, uncle, them come about because of hunger. And when people have their wealth and can't feed their children and cannot have a good life, crime and criminal activities will creep in on a nation. And you know who they will go after, right? Yes, they're going to go after the people with money. Yesterday, they were putting gates on one-way streets to the churches so they could monitor who coming and who going in. You hear me, Josh? Yeah. That is what is going on in Haiti right now. Even to the pastors, they're kidnapping in Haiti. Wow. They interviewed a man who was kidnapped, and the man told the reporter, of course, without showing his face, how he's living in the zone as if he's still being kidnapped or in captivity. Just Google it. It's there. It's there before your eyes, uncle. The leading country per capita for kidnapping now is Haiti. Ta-da! Guyana. Uncle and auntie, if y'all don't stop this fourth project, let me repeat, I pack in my bag and shutting down this program and go join EXXON Mobil and Barrett Jagdeo. Yes, I going to get a little money in my pocket. Rather a little more. As I said, my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will not be living out of rubbish bins. You can't, uncle, you can't continue rocking in your hammocks and shaking in your rocking chairs and don't stand up and speak up. You have to start demanding change. You don't demand that, you guys will see where your future will take you. They pull wool over your eyes with the public consultation of the Payara project without any changes to the royalty, to the profits and insurance. Now they're going to pull the whole blanket over your head with this fourth project, the Yellowtail. Mark my words. If this project doesn't stop, if you don't put a brakes and get what you rightfully deserve from this one, all of you will be running around with the colors of the party flags as tails on your behinds. That's what you'll be running around with. The yellow tail. Y'all gonna run around with not with yellow, but your party flags as tails. Pin on to you. Whether you want to pin them on your hair or if you want to pin it on your behind, then that's fine. The minister said, how when the fourth project come on board and they start pumping, Guyana could get $4 billion US. Could. Calling figures, using numbers. They're using numbers like if they're plucking the stars out the sky. But let me say, you guys smart, you're bright, man. Let's just say for a moment, for talk's sake, Guyana gets $4 billion US by 2026. Y'all have a clue what Guyana budget gonna be in 2026? It might go past the $4 billion. So your oil gonna give you money just to eat. His figures I use. It's his figure I use. You will get money just to eat because there will be massive billions needed for infrastructure to handle this oil madness that will be going on in this land. 4 billion, uncle, by 2026. Them ready to pump up them chests, fluff up themselves, open their mouths to tell all Guyana we getting 4 billion every year from 2026. But not telling you that by 2025, not 2026, half of the 4 billion will have to pay EXXON taxes. So what Guyana left with? We go back to square one. The money will not even be, would not even be for 2022 budget. What a Guyana we live in. But here this one. This one is the kicker. Here the bombshell auntie. Here what I don't want you to know. Here what they have been silent with. How much money EXXON is walking away with from our oil? You have an idea? $196 billion every year from 2026. What I said we can get? 4 billion. Man, let me just repeat this, man. I was little bright in school with maths. And until now, I still know 2 to 20 times tables in my head. And I remember BODMAS plus if mass, bracket, order, division, multiply, add and subtract. But only a few people, including Jagdeo and Ashni Singh, knows what is if mass. Glenn never knew what it was, but I will never forget it. If mass, uncle, stands for Integrated Financial Management Accounting System. The two of them, Mr. Jagdeo and Mr. Ashni Singh, bought that program to be installed at the Ministry of Finance many years ago. And guess what they did, Guyana? They install all the modules, all the programs, and left out the most important one. They've installed everything, including one on how and where the money coming in from. But the most important one, how they're spending our money, Jagdeo and Ashni Singh did not install that module, although it did come with the rest. It's not that the supplier in Canada left it out. These guys did not install it. When my reporter called the company and asked why the most critical aspect of the program was not installed into the financial systems at the Ministry of Finance, You know what the director of the company said to us? Sir, we sell accounting programs. Install and train government people how to operate it. But we can only install and train what we are instructed to install. What other question can you ask a supplier of a product? You can't ask the man anything else. The man give you the answer there. When we reported that story, Auntie, the director from Canada called back and asked us if we can retract the story. And we told him no. He said he will have to put out a statement that the reporter misquoted him. But when my reporter told him that he was recorded, he is on tape saying those words, he went completely silent. We had everything as reporters, you know, they call you for an interview, they record everything. I felt sorry for him as a businessman, but I could not watch the evil, the wickedness the leaders were doing with the finances of this country, with oh my gosh, when I remember this story, like sometimes I lost for words to describe it. It's terrible. It's terrible, Auntie. The wickedness, these wicked people. They want the story to be withdrawn. Somebody called the man and said, if you don't retract the story, you wouldn't get another business from we company. From we country, sorry. And how they were going to buy another bigger program from the company. But you guys like talk. And he lost the business. So you cannot talk in this country. Sometimes I pat myself on my shoulder and say, thank you, Lord, for giving me the strength and wisdom to bring out this voice. I've been doing it 27 years through the newspaper pages. Everything I said there, you can Google it. It's on the Kaieteur News website. This is what the leaders of this land has been doing and is continuing to do to every citizen of this land where your money is concerned. What did they say? Guyana will be getting what? Could be getting 4 billion by 2026. And the oil player, they're not telling you, them walking away with 196 billion every year. This is a beautiful Guyana. I wanted to sing, but my throat is hurting me tonight. Independent and free Guyana. Free for some of them only, who holds the purse strings. I just pray for them too. You guys must pray for them. I only hope one day them get snatched and not the ordinary people purse. We're going to report it. Winston Brasington, the man who's heading the gas to shore project without a financial certificate behind his name, had said at the cloudy kind of secrecy media brief they held at the conference center, Guyana would need 50 million standard cubic feet of gas from Liza 1, 2, and 3 per day. Uncle, you gotta listen to this thing carefully. Winston Brasington said, Guyana will need 50 million cubic feet gas per day from Liza 1, 2, and 3 for the gas plant to generate enough electricity Guyana would need. Uncle, here it is. The fourth project, ExxonMobil said, will generate 450 cubic feet of gas per day if and when they begin. This is 9 times the amount of gas that Guyana will need that would be coming on shore. So what are they going to do with it, Uncle? If you only need 50 million per day, and you're getting it from Liza 1, 2, and 3, then what are you going to do with 450 million per day? Push it where? This, Uncle, was revealed to Guyana through ExxonMobil fourth project summary, the one that they're doing now. Remember, I talked about the 3 options ExxonMobil says we have: re-inject the gas, flare the gas, or find market for the gas. Well, the gas market has been overrun. Market in the no way. Trinidad got little market because them being in the business all them life. And the world is moving away from gas to greener electricity, greener energy. So where would Brassington and Jagdeo push this 450 million cubic feet per day, Uncle? Somebody needs to tell us. Exxon warning us clearly up front the options Guyana has before signing this fourth project. You hear me, Uncle? Exxon warning us before we sign it. 450 million cubic feet gas per day will come up. So, Guyana, this is an additional danger the Vice President and Brassington, plus the opposition them, putting all of us in. Like I said, Trinidad and Tobago has been doing the gas business over 100 years now, and them finding it hard to cope with the business to make a few dollars, make a few penny for them to eat. These leaders we have, we can't take care of a 2 or 3 mile traffic in Guyana, who can patch a little piece of road properly, not build it, just by the roundabout, by DSL, they patched it 1 month ago, and drive and see what it look like. Them this, who can make a dollar from the sugar industry, what they've been in all them life, can't deal with the fishing industry, what a grandfather know about throughout them lifetime too. Them can't even put on them short and pants properly. Not the VP. He's dressed a little alright. Brassington has wear some long shoes like he toes got chuchuma. Never run a single industry in this country, Uncle. A single corporation or state agency in this land that is successful, Uncle. They're setting up shop. Them setting up shop. Them setting up a natural gas plant for generate electricity that will cost billions of US dollars. A matter of fact, it's the biggest project the region, I think, will ever see. Can you please excuse me? Let me have a sip of water. Thank you so much. This is what they're doing. Wow. Thank you. Everybody, warning Guyana, if you don't have market to sell your product, don't jump into fire. You will get burned. They say how Brazil gonna buy electricity. They say French Guyana. Well, them said that. The French ambassador for the region said he gonna ask French Guyana to buy electricity. This is the kind of gaff that goes on with your leaders and ambassadors on businesses. Yes, your livelihood, your future. This is how they start. We can get Brazil, we can get French Guyana to sell electricity to, with no signed agreement or a signed business proposal. Just like how we have no signed insurance policy. And what Jack David say? ExxonMobil gonna take care of we should there be a disaster. I want to know if he mentioned got that kind of insurance without a signed contract. I am so tired. Uncle, I went to Essequibo whole day yesterday and I had a hard day today. I am tired. If gas had money, uncle, if it had a penny to make, you guys think ExxonMobil gonna give we brown, black and yellow people? You know what they're giving you, uncle? Something called go. If you're old enough, you know the word. That is what ExxonMobil giving me. Go. I'm on the radio, man. I can't pronounce the word properly. With 2% plus the little profit takes you to 11.25% total Guyana. That's all you get in. You're getting no taxes, no signing bonus, no insurance, no ring fencing, no proper metering, no production reports, no information on the interest rate we're paying. We don't know how much or how they're calculating we profit. We have no depletion policy in place. We don't know how much they're spending and what they're spending it on. And this is we running business. We running to go to do gas to show business. I want to try put it a little simple for you, what I just said there about the business. Gafoor has been in the hardware business for over 60 years. Gafoor is a household name in Guyana. Gafoor got branches in all the region. Essequibo, Babis and Demerara, that's the counties. But he got them in all region too. Gafoor, you can safely say, is the hardware king. They got the whole of Guyana as customers. Do you think any nincompoop who doesn't have a cent in their name, doesn't know the difference between a hammer and a spade, or the difference between a copper rod or a steel rod, can go into hardware business where there is no market and win over people like Gafoor or National Hardware? Joshua, you think anybody can do that? No. Yes. This is what we Vice President Jack Dale and we bright friend Winston Brassington, the man without a financial certificate behind his name, is doing to Guyana with his gas to shore plant and the world, including Trinidad and Tobago, were barely catching them hand. We're barely catching their hand now, uncle. Been in this business over 100 years. These chaps are jumping to something what they may know nothing about. They're born and grow with sugar and rice and can't make that successful. Auntie and uncle, Guyana needs a turnaround. Guyana, you need to tell the leaders they need to start listening to people. These chaps, like I said, cannot run a foul pen, never run a cake shop or a green stall. Running $1 trillion US dollar country. Please tell them, uncle, listen, bring in people, hire the exports man. Everything goes. Everything happens haywire because we do not have that same thing I talk about, a depletion policy in place. Don't worry about it, uncle. It's a big word, depletion. But it simply means a set standard or a system. How you plan bringing up this oil. What amount you will bring up. How fast you will bring them up. How quick you will empty the tank. That's what depletion policy is all about, uncle. If you not got a plan, a system, how you going to pick the mango or cut the rice? If you not got that, what kind of business you doing, uncle? You got to be doing monkey business. The second largest oil find in the world per capita. Setting string to catch monkey. That's what we doing. Instead of put a policy in place, uncle, to slow down the pace with their pumping and fix all the loopholes, correct all the inflated charges, put all the people in place. Like I said, bring the experts to help you manage the sector properly. These guys allowing people to manage we monkey business. Instead, we manage our own business. Hear that, Josh? Let me go back to the 450 million cubic feet gas per day. But nobody know what Brassington will do with it. Whether he will push it up or push it down somewhere. The contract says ExxonMobil will land gas ashore free of cost. You hear me, why?
Free.
Let me repeat this piece, uncle. The contract says ExxonMobil will land gas ashore free of cost. But listen carefully. Listen carefully what Jagdeo telling Guyana. Could you play that tape for me, please?
And we are pushing to lower those figures. So they could, that's a commercial gap on their end. But we, on our hand, we are pushing to get the figures low. So those are figures that are shared. Right now, the figures that we have are figures that the technical team working with them, because it's a joint project, those are figures that are conservatively determined. I told the team today that we have to try to even get it lower.
What the last words? He tell the team he gonna get it lower?
Yeah.
Lower. The contract, the Exxon contract said gas, Exxon will supply gas to shore for us free of cost. And he talking about price lower. You see why they don't want you to record them, uncle? Those words came about a year now when he called us to give us a brief on the gas to shore project and tell us don't record nothing. Those words came from that meeting. That's the reason why they don't want you to listen, to hold them accountable, because it's a game they're playing with you. Could you play it back, man? It's kind of confusing. Play it back.
And we are pushing to lower those figures. So they could, that's a commercial gap on their end. But we, on our hand, we are pushing to get the figures low. So those are figures that are shared. Right now, the figures that we have are figures that the technical team working with them, because it's a joint project, those are figures that were conservatively determined. I told the team today that we have to try to even get it lower.
Get it lower. It's a ball he wants to throw at Guyana. A bait. Yes. If you don't question the bait and bite the bait, then them gone with you. Is what he's trying to pull on Guyana there, Josh. You know? Huh? No. You getting the gas free. The contract says so. And now we hearing Jagdev saying how he gonna get the price lower. And how is a commercial gaff. A commercial gaff from their end. Then he went on to say, with a smile on his face, how the discussions is still going on and how he got technical team working along with them to get the 3% reduced. Yes. He said those are the figures shared. Shared with whom? Who, Mr. Jagdeo? This country never heard that Guyana has to pay for gas. Is what deal you and ExxonMobil working behind we back, Mr. Jagdeo? Man, this is Guyana. How that gas come in, Uncle? Almost a year done since he said those words in a closed door meeting. And he did tell us, the media, not to tape him. Now we have Winston Brasington running ahead with the project, and we ain't to hear how much Guyana is paying for this free gas yet. You understand trouble, Allen? You really understand the trouble you're in and the games these leaders playing with your future? Uncle? Just think for a moment. Whose pocket that 3% is set to go in? ExxonMobil? Or somebody else's bank account in Panama? Or the British Virgin Islands? Ta-da! Man, if I can read through these bright lines, I am putting it in shocking colors in front of your face. Then, Uncle and Auntie, you got to go to the eye specialist. You can go to Dr. Ming or Modern Optical and tell him Glenn Lall send y'all, because you need to see what's happening. You need to see what's happening, what Jagdev and Brasington doing to y'all. While the opposition, Mr. Granger, Mr. Harman, Mr. Chatman, and Mr. Ramjatan, they are all in silence too. Ta-da! You know, the Vice President promised my journalist since December last year for an interview. The reporter did many follow-ups with him, sent him many questions. To date, he hasn't responded to her on that interview. The only time he responded to the girl is to ask the girl when she gonna come work for he. These are the people running this $1 trillion sector, and he's not holding press conferences. He run every other day and sit down with a man named Critic who doesn't know where he head there from his foot to talk to Guyana. The other one, Winston Brasington, who heading the gas ashore project, never held a press conference to tell us what he's doing or how he's coming along with this $1 billion gas to shore project. As for the opposition is when last them to hold a press conference, uncle. You guys better check and see if them involved in a coma. Ta-da! They're proud to say they're collecting $4 billion by 2025. But you're not proud to tell the nation, while you collecting $4 billion, if you do collect it, how much the oil people are walking away with? 196 billion US dollar. This is my country. This is your country. This is Guyana, beautiful Guyana. I did not compose a song for you tonight. Please compose one and send it for me. I'll try to sing it on Wednesday or Friday. I was very busy today too. I run in to the public consultation on the grandfather of all evil, the yellowtail consultation at the GUYANA this afternoon. It starts from 5 to 7 and I've been there. That's why I told you guys I was busy all day. I went there with the same t-shirt I got on here. 50% royalty or nothing. And the yellowtail, I got deliberately with this t-shirt. This is a yellow t-shirt too. They had a lot of people. One man said, Glenn, you have more of the t-shirts? Everyone should have been wearing it like you. I told him, I laughed when he said that to me. But I told him I have at the office. I spent another half hour in a singing class today. Just to catch the art of singing, uncle. So that I can sing some songs to you people of what is happening in this land. Let me end by telling you, just before the consultation began this afternoon, I spoke to two of the EPA officers and asked them if they studied the EIA, 7,400 pages of the document EXXON presented to Guyana for this fourth project, the Yellowtail. I rather not share the response I got, but I will tell you. I'll tell you this. I asked Alistair Rutledge, the manager here in Guyana for ExxonMobil, if Guyana had gotten the insurance agreement in which the parent companies of Exxon, Sinnock and Hess were to sign and deliver to Guyana, taking on full responsibility above and beyond the wishy-washy insurance policy we have from them. His answer was no, and that he stands by what he told me the last time, meaning Guyana, its people, nor the region does not have full cover insurance when a disaster happens. That's what he actually told me the last time, and he maintains the same thing today. And I leave the consultation at GUYANA. There is nothing for me to ask them because it is the same routine puppy show they're putting on. How much oil they're going to pump, how much gas they're going to flare, how much produced water they're going to pour overboard. The usual slideshow that is put on to tell you all this technical fancy thing. The slideshow does look like more of a Mickey Mouse movie what my grandchildren them just look at. Would you ever get full cover insurance in this Ford project, Uncle? No, you wouldn't get it. The answer is no, Guyana. The way all the leaders is handling this oil sector, cat might not even get to eat your dinner. Y'all will end up walking in the streets and dropping dead when an oil spill occurs. Just a quick reminder, Uncle. The reasons why and for what purpose them holding this public consultation. The purpose is to let you know everything they will be doing in this Ford project. And why is because the laws of Guyana specify that. So they hand you all the information for you to study so that you can raise your concerns and objections, how you see fit at the public forum. And that is what they call public participation and public consultation. Yes. Yes, Uncle. Hear me clearly before I go. They present to you, to Guyana, 7,400 pages with information as to what they will do with technical data and hand it to you, hand it to Guyana 10 days before the first consultation and participation begin. Josh? Josh, you know the 7,400 plus pages, what it's equal to? It equal to 2 Bible, 2 Bhagavad Gita, and 2 Quran, plus the dictionary. That is what they give Guyana to study in 10 days for you to go and participate in a discussion. Yes. For you to raise your concerns and make your contributions. Man, auntie, brothers and sisters, if this is not I pass to us as a people, then I ask these leaders what is. Joshua, that is like giving a 4-year-old child a week to study one of them religious books and come back for y'all have a discussion on it. A 4-year-old child. By the way, tomorrow my 2 grandsons turning 4 years old. And they tell me, I get instruction from home, from my daughter. I got to sit down to do a religious work with them. She said, Daddy, you never find time for them. So tomorrow is their day. I plan to have a great day with them. God bless all of you and thank you for listening. Do have a peaceful and a restful night. Sleep well. And don't forget, I love you guys. Sir, we're going to take 2 calls.
You're listening to us on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. This is the Lall Show, and you can call us this evening on 226-7453 and 226-7454.
Government.
Or 622-2222.
Government and EXXON giving Guyana.
Caller, good evening and welcome to the Lall Show.
A pleasant good evening to Mr. Lall and his entire panel.
Yes,
Mr. Lall.
Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Lall, would you agree with me that when a government embarks on a major project like oil exploration and production,
Yes.
that a feasibility study must be done in order for its population to have maximum profit? In this respect, do you not think that the government at the time should have contacted several oil-producing countries so as to get the best deal for its people? Meaning that they should have gone to these oil-producing countries and asked them how much you're getting for your royalty, how much for your signing bonus, so would have been equipped.
Can you hold? You hold on the radio?
Sure.
I dealt with this issue feasibility study, I dealt with that part, that aspect of this gas before. What I said is that no proper feasibility study was done to see if Guyana will come out successful or not. They did tell us in the secret meeting that Japan did a feasibility study, and Japan said it's feasible, it's good for us. Japan says so. And then I went on to explain how Japan did one for Trinidad, but Japan ended up owning, 3 Japanese companies end up owning, they would have ended up owning Trinidad gas plant. And the loan came from Japan. So basically, in a nutshell, anybody who wants to con you hear me?
Yes, sir.
They will say the project is right. It's sweet, it's ripe, go ahead and take it. I am going to lend you the money to do it. And I will end up owning 3/4 of the business. So when the business fails, of course I will run it and make money. You understand? And left you in the debt. And when the project fails, then Guyana has to pay back for all the loans.
I understand, sir.
Good. So,
Last question.
So a proper no proper feasibility study was done. And
Yes, sir.
gas to shore, gas now in the world is no business. It's the worst business you could think about.
Yes, sir.
Google it, you see it.
Yes, sir. Second question, Mr. Lall. What we find today is that our leaders are visiting several oil-producing nations like Ghana, they are going to Dubai, and they have not yet returned to this nation and tell the people, look, I have went to these countries and I have told them, look, we're getting 2% royalty. How can you assist us to get more with our profit bonus and thing? They've never reported. They're not going to tell those nations, look, can you assist us so we can get a better deal? No, they have not yet reported to the nation in that context. That's my question, sir.
Thank you. Instead, President Ali said he went to Dubai and he was proud to announce that somebody coming in here to put on some some cement factory with fancy technicality. Man's a fancy language. A $5 million cement factory. You know, Jagde went to Ghana to gain experience and understand how Ghana ended up where it is. He came back and he didn't hold a press conference until now. So we don't know what he went there and what he learned. Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Glenn, how are you, sir? I just want to say to you that a few months ago, Mr. the financial guru sat down with the critics and said that Mr. Glenn Lall is making noise to sell paper. But it's obviously that when we saw Mr. Harman wear the T-shirt and agree that there is a problem with the contract, it takes a man like Mr. Harman to agree that there was a problem in the contract. I was looking at the Facebook page over the weekend of the PPP, and all they did was demonizing Mr. Harman. Rather than saying that, yes, there's an issue, let's try to fix it. But instead of, they continuously blame game. What are we going to do as Guyanese to team up together to tell Mr. Jagdeo and Irfan Ali that it's time that you guys must go?
Well, I am not surprised to hear Jagdeo say you would do that to sell paper. That's an old slang. He has been using from inception. But let me change it now. You got to find something new. I am not saying this alone in the newspaper. I am talking this on the radio. So am I selling the radio?
No, but it's funny that it takes a man like Harman, and we must congratulate him, no matter how much of a wrong that they did when they were in power. Although I'm not agreeing with them, everybody agree that there is a problem, and we agree that this administration have a chance right now to fix it, then go ahead and fix it rather than play the blame game.
Well, blame game will never come out of some of them mouth in the PPP, especially Jack Dale. You ask him a question, the reporter asked him, you remember the reporter asked him how he plans to make Guyana does not fall in like the way Ghana fell with their oil industry. And he went around and he blamed the PNC. 30 years should be PNC, we blame PNC.
I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to go. For 55 years, our people has been suffering under both administration. It's time for a new regime, my brother. New change. Nobody in the same political party of PPP and PNC can rule this country and bring changes for our people. We need a new blood.
I want to tell you something, my friend. We don't need no new blood. You know what we need? We need the leaders who we have here to listen to the experts. That's all we need. We need honest leaders. We need loving and caring leaders. If you tell me we need honest, decent, caring and loving leaders and leaders who are willing to listen to the experts, yes, I am with you on that. But to change them, who are you going to put? It's the same set of people. This industry we find ourselves in, my friend, it's not large. It's not humongous. It's gigantic. And anybody you put there would also need advice from the experts to bring about a good small piece in our pocket. If not, we will head towards the grave.
Yes, I agree with you. But these characters are only looking out for what's best for themselves. Like you said about the two-eyed block with Robert Passad. And I haven't seen our Attorney General or Mr. Ali or Barrett speaking about that. When are they going to sit down at the table and say there is a problem here, we need to fix it?
These chaps busy working out deals, man, and contracts.
All right.
They're busy with deals and contracts. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. All right, good night. Bye.
Good night. They're busy making deals and contracts. Josh?
Yes, sir.
I gotta get water, man.
Go ahead. Let me just remind you that you listen to us at Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. And this is the Glenn Lall Show. You have a call on the line? Caller, good evening and welcome to the Glenn Lall Show.
Hi, good night.
Good night to you, sir.
Good night to everyone.
Good night.
Yes, Mr. Lall.
Yes,
I am going to talk to you on the behalf of. I don't want to ask you a question. Would it be possible for me to make a statement?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Make it short, though.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Mr. Lall, I'm a young man. I have a small business. And I've been doing this since 2017. And from what I've seen from then to now, and I can advocate, I have spoke with many young businessmen of my fortitude that also listen to your program. It's not to say that you are not correct in everything that you're saying. I think I applaud you for your honesty and your forthwith, and the way that you're bringing this program over to every one of us in Guyana. But we lack in basic education. And even though that you are trying to educate us in every single way, when every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I look at your program, and I go on Facebook or WhatsApp, Facebook or YouTube, and I see the comments of my fellow Guyanese. I cannot understand why the divide is like this. Why can we support a party and not support an initiative? Why can we go down this road? Why do we have to go down this road like this? Can we not understand that what you are doing is without malice or without, any something up your sleeve and these kind of things? I've heard a lot of people saying, Mr. Lall, that you're only doing this because you didn't get a piece of the pie. To be quite honest, I would look at it and I would say, yeah, fair enough. If you didn't get a piece of the pie.
Piece of what pie?
That is the
27,
thing.
one second. 27 years I've been doing this exact thing I'm doing. And 27 years, I'm still looking for a piece of the pie, man. I am a blessed human being. I told my staff many times that I don't know of any other human being that is blessed like I am. I know that I am blessed. I feel I am blessed. I don't need nothing in life, my friend. I don't need nothing in life. Nothing. All I need is 3 meals when the day comes. And
Everyone.
and the Creator has blessed me with more than 3 meals that I can live 3 other lifetimes and don't have to work. If you understand what I'm saying.
I understand.
That's how much blessed I am.
What you're saying.
I don't need anything. I told you guys, I told President Jagdev since 2000 in his first presidency that he can't give me anything. He can't give me anything. He can't take anything from me because he doesn't own anything. Nobody can give me anything. Neither can I give anybody anything. Only the Creator can give us and take from us, bro.
Alexander the Great, when he died, he said, portray him through the streets with his hand, bare to both sides, so people can see that when he died, the amount of lands that he conquered, he had to go through the same street with empty hands. He could not have carried anything. Right? Theologians also, people write their thesis about that. This is educated people, and we have a lot of educated people in Guyana.
Yeah, if only the leaders understand that when we close our eyes, we go with nothing.
Exactly.
We go bare.
We go bare. Yesterday I was at this funeral, and one of the leader said that we tend to spend money and buy fancy things and do this and do that, and we wouldn't even buy an umbrella for a brother or a sister on the street walking in the rain.
Mr. Lall, I can understand what you just said there, but to be quite honest, 80% of the population doesn't understand that. And it is saddening to know that we live in a society of something like that.
It's too
Mr.
much.
Lall, I am going to tell you something. And it is something that is burning within me. I have never called to your program before, but I've been an ardent listener to your program, right? And I've spoke with many friends in all different sectors, and everybody has their own opinion. In life, we should have our own opinion. No one should be to say that their opinion should be cast aside for whatever reason. But in our society, in our Guyanese society, if we do not look at each other as Guyanese, if we do not take up one day and understand that we are Guyanese foremost before anything, it's like when we were at Dubai, what was the mantra that everyone sang and everyone said? It was Guyanese. It didn't say a race. It didn't say Indian. It didn't say a religion. It didn't say Hindu. It didn't say Christian. It didn't say Muslim. It said Guyanese.
Yep.
And until we as a people could understand, we are Guyanese first. And then our heritage, we will uphold and keep. But understand, we are Guyanese. And we are for each other.
Unless
how can we live in a society? How can we bear our lives? How can we? My son is 17 years of age. How can I nestle an agreement such as this with him? How can I do that?
I keep saying, my friend, unless we begin to see Guyanese as one family and don't look at party and color and race and religion, we are not going to get anywhere. I keep preaching that. I've been preaching that for the last 27 years. Many times when I hear the opposition them speak or ministers speak, I am like, no man, this is not for real. I sometimes pick up the phone and call them and say, man, what happened with you guys? This is the way, when this will change. This is how you speak to people. This is what you're molding as a leader in a country. This is what you guys cultivating. Every time is this one, is that one. It's abused down and a cussed down. And let me tell you something. This thing has been at the top of the PNC, top of the PPP. And the coalition that went in there, they adopted the same attitude. So it's like one bunch of politicians that has been peddling, observing this same mentality, bro. And
that is so true.
And I've been trying my best all the time to, hey guys, get out of this. But you know what I find of lately? Since I started this program and started playing their press conferences, playing whatever they say when they go here, and respond to them, I have noticed that I have pushed their back against the wall. So that is one of the main reasons they're not holding press conferences. And that's one of the reasons why they're not going out there and speak, open their mouth and spew like that. And I'm very happy about that. Because I told them, I said, every time you guys go anywhere and say anything, it will come back to this radio station and I will play it for the nation to hear you guys. And then I will respond to you as a citizen. And this is something that has been eating them up right now. They can't handle it.
Mr. Lall, you are a movement of one. Look, we have the current political debate for the presidential leadership of the PNCR, whereby we have, I hope I can speak this.
Go ahead.
I only read it only today.
Go ahead.
We have Mr. Charles, we have Mr. Norton, we have Mr. Harmon, right? And we have Mr. Ford endorsing Mr. Harmon. Now, what kind of opposition leaders are we going to have? You've been speaking of the African nations for so long and showing the way that the people that are out of touch of today's industry and today's politics, what is wrong with it? And yet still we have our opposition who we rely on to further and bolster our truths and our energy. But how can we have it from a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old? You know, this is not America. We cannot have a Joseph Biden with us. You understand? The point what I'm saying about that is that come 2025, what are we going to do? Are we going to go to an opposition position where we are looking at the same draconian behavior all again? Or are we going to have an opportunity to select something different? Well, at one point, I said when Anouk came about and we had a young, vibrant, you know, the lawyer, what's his name?
Ralph.
You know, not Ralph Yankeren. I'm talking about the other one. You know, the young, vibrant.
Timothy Jonas.
Timothy Jonas. There you go. I expected so much more. And, you know, the thing with the power sharing between the three parties, and you had a Schuman, and when Schuman is finished with his part, maybe Timothy will have his part, and everybody will have his part. But beyond that, you never hear Timothy come out after them. You know, and a lot of people, and a lot of young people put their stock for Timothy. I've told you, I've been in circles and saying, hey, let's give Timothy an opportunity, because this seems like it's worth an effort, you know. But then after the fact, what do we have? Now, what are we left with? Hold
a second.
Yes, go ahead.
Hold a second. I didn't want to say this, but I'll tell you. The opposition leader called me last week and said, Glenn, I want to come around. I said, no problem. Come around anytime. He came around and we sat. And quick chat, he says, yeah, you know, he's running for the leadership of the PNC and blah, 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 blah. But I did ask him, I said, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing for the people of this country? And we had a quick discussion, and he promised to come on the radio. And he ended up putting on a jersey like what I'm wearing here, 50% royalty. I said, you agree with it? He said, yes. I said, well, would you wear one? He said, no problem. He put on one, and he carried two. And he said to me, Glenn, we really don't know much, right? He was very upfront and honest. He didn't, he was the exact word. He said, Glenn, you know more than we, which I want to believe and I don't want to believe, neither here nor there. But he planned to come on the radio this week. He said so. Schuman came, and Schuman asked me if he could have a chat with the editorial staff, and I said no problem. And as I stand there listening to him, I asked him 2-3 questions right there. And honestly, I was shocked that he left, and my staff was like, oh no, boss, what did you do to him? I said, well, I didn't do anything to him. I asked him a few questions as a leader, aspiring leader, how he plans to deal with this and how he plans to deal with that, and what answer he can give this classroom he's talking to on this that I asked him. And like, he was stunned. He left, you know, like, oh my gosh. My staff said I embarrassed the man. I said, no, I did not embarrass the man. He asked me to come and if he can speak to the staff. And I said, I have no problem with that. And as a leader, when you're talking to people, you must be able to take questions and answer it as you're speaking. And long story short, I gotta go. But I'd like to have your number, and we have to have leaders who are willing to listen and take advice, my friend.
Before you go, Mr. Lall,
yeah,
I just want to leave you with this one thing, right? Yes, you are doing so much for the Guyanese populace, but we need to understand, right, that with what you are doing, we only have two cards on the table. It's either the good of the evil or the bad of the evil. What are we going to do? You know, this is something we need to understand, and we need to just fixate ourselves a little bit more away from that tribalism. We need to understand that, well, but who is there? Who is there? Who will generate that reconstruction of the contract? Who is there to generate the positivity of the Guyanese people? Who is there to ensure that Guyanese are going to live and are going to have a better society? Who is there? We have you saying one thing, but you would not be a presidential candidate. You would not go out there, you know? And even if you go out there, you know, the people are going to hate you even more. And I'm so angered as a young man, as a young 40-year-old, you know, businessman trying, struggling, you know, to understand that yet still we have these kind of emotions that are going to throw us and not going to carry us into a better future. So what in 5 years to come, Mr. Lall, I'm so sorry, Guyana is just on the plateau of doom. That's the only thing I see. And I see my 17-year-old son, by the time he reaches 45, 60, and his grandchildren come, my grandchildren, my beloveds, I will be hurt.
Let me end by telling you this. Prayers and divine intervention will come. Just have hope. Just have hope.
Mr. Lall, I think that is the movies. Forgive me for saying that.
we will get a change, bro. We will. Thank you so much. Must call me,
Have a good
right?
night, sir.
Must call me.
Will do.
Thanks. Have a good night. Yes, sir. You're the last caller.
Good night.
You have 1 second.
Good night, Glenn. Good night.
You have 1 second. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll make it quickly. Our leaders, they always say the sanctity of contracts, but it seems like the sanctity of contracts doesn't apply when it comes to the relinquishment provisions of the contract, the 50% and the 5% and the 25%. The relinquishment part of the contract doesn't have sanctity. Only the 2% royalty and the 11% has sanctity. The relinquishment portion to give back to the Guyana people that belongs to them doesn't have sanctity, right?
Yes.
We are all fools. Guyanese people are fools.
Yeah.
Everything else has sanctity, but the sanctity of the Guyanese people doesn't. We are stupid. We are fools, you know.
You're so correct. You're so
Can
correct.
the reporter please ask the President, Vice President, what about the sanctity of contract when it comes to the relinquishment provisions? Why do we have to?
My friend, that's a question we asked the Vice President months ago, and we asked him back again last week, and he has not responded. He does not respond to the questions. So what else can we do? But it's good. It's good that you raised the issue. That our listeners can understand what is going on. Early in my program, I did say the man has not been responding. He's not coming on the show. I asked the reporter to send back that question to him just last week, and he has not responded. So you're correct. Sanctity of. Go ahead.
We have to pressure our president. Jagdev is not our president. We didn't vote for Jagdev. I voted for Irfan Ali.
You're breaking up.
We who voted for President Ali, he has to be Yeah, we who voted for President Ali, he has to be accountable to us.
Exactly.
He has to answer the question, not Vice President Jagdeo. We didn't vote for Vice President Jagdeo, we voted for President Irfan Ali. Right? He needs to answer us to the Guyanese people. What about, does insanity of contracts apply to the relinquishment provisions that give back the Guyanese people belongs to them? I am asking our president directly. You have to answer the question. If he doesn't answer the question, we have to go protest every single day in front of the office of the president, sir.
I hear you. Thank you.
I hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thanks. Have a good night, sir. Wow. I am signaling that I have to come off. I have to come off. So guys, have a great night. God bless. Thanks for listening.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.